Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PokePlush Podcast. It's a Pokemon Plush podcast for Pokemon Plush collectors by Pokemon Plush collectors, and I am your host, Pittoo. And today we have a very interesting thing to cover. We have some brand new releases on the Pokemon Center, which I'm going to talk about in the news category. And right after that, we're actually going to Reddit and showing off some Reddit things that we wanted to show off, asking about what your favorite type of Pokemon brand is. That could be Pokemon Center, that could be Jack Specific, Tomy, anything like that. So I'm super excited to see what the community all has to say and what their favorites seem to be. I really enjoy these kind of episodes where I actually get Reddit involved with it. I want to do more about that because I just love the fact that my favorite place to talk about Pokemon plushies is on Reddit, and there's so many awesome collectors that love getting their input and actually like joining on the podcast, which I would love to have some of you on the podcast in the future. I feel like that would be amazing. But besides that, I actually have a few plushies that I'm getting in my collection that I love talking about. So first off, my boy, the Dunsparce. So the Dunsparce is such an awesome Pokemon plush. I say my boy, it should actually be my girl because I named my Dunsparce plush that I got on Pokemon Center recently. I named her, of course, Princess Bob. Princess Bob, very, very awesome plushie. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, but you know what? I'll take it. It's still a really, really awesome plushie nonetheless. And I think that it works really good in my collection. I've wanted a Dunsparce for a while, but I kept on forgetting about it, and I actually ended up getting a anniversary gift for my girlfriend that came out recently, and I've been wanting to grab it for her on Japan's like Mecha Japan and all that. However, it finally came on Pokemon Center. It's going to be the cheapest it's going to be for a long time, so I thought I might as well pull the trigger and actually take it. And then as well as that, there is a few plushies that I've actually been hoping I'd get to add to my collection. However, I have been waiting to do that because if you don't know, I have my own shop. And the shop was actually kind of a co-deal thing with my boss at the time. Right now, I'm not working for him just because we cut a few of the hours back because I'm just kind of learning from him. It's more like an internship, just on whenever we could actually have available time to work together, and we actually were selling all the Pokemon plushies for a profit together. I'd give him $800, and then after that, I got to keep, I think, 25% of all the income and all that. So I've been doing so pretty well with that. That's usually where I was making a good amount of money selling the Pokemon plushies, and call it a side hustle. And there was a few plushies that I had my eye on, but I never ever grabbed, and that is the I think Banpresto Staravia, the which one's next? We got Crustle and Volibee, the Banpresto keychain plushies, and the Pokemon Center Helioptile. And as well as that, there was a Pokemon Center Charmander, which you'll see in a future video. So if you watch the podcast, then you definitely know about that. These guys are actually going to be in my Pokemon Plush Living Dex season finale for season 2. So that's going to be a very, very interesting thing to show off. But now that I actually have ownership of all these plushies, because on my last day he actually let me keep all the plushies and keep all of the profit, because I've maybe given him like about $100 or so of actually the profit just in cash whenever I got it. So I actually got to keep this profit, and I'm super, super excited about that because that means that's a lot of money in my pockets and a lot of Pokemon plushies that maybe I wanted. I get to keep it. So I'm super excited to say those Pokemon are in my collection. And I can't believe I forgot about these guys. We actually got a few new Jazzwares releases, which we'll talk about later in the actual news. However, I was able to pick up two of these beautiful plushies, that being the Bonsley and the Fido. And then actually a few days before that, I was able to previously catch and get the Jazzwares Oddish. So I was able to add Oddish, Fido, which awesome, getting another Gen 9 Pokemon. Hopefully we get some more Generation 9 love from these Jazzwares plush sets. Just please, anything but just Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle and Pikachu. That would be amazing. And then Bonsley, which I actually brought Bonsley with me, my Totodile, Pirate Totodile plush, and my Chita actually, because I've been going to the Renaissance Fair with my girlfriend, which whenever you're hearing this is actually ending. Also, huge sorry and apologies about the fact that I didn't do a video. I'm doing it late at least, and yeah, I do really apologize. That I'm super sorry about that. I've been very, very busy and just haven't had a chance to really do the podcast. But yeah, I was able to bring those guys and do a Pokemon Pirate of sorts because it was Pirate Weekend the weekend I went. So Totodile, Chatot, and then I brought Bonsley because Bonsley was just so cute. I had to bring it. So Bonsley got added to my Pokemon Pirate. Maybe in the future I'll bring him again. We'll see. It was very hard to keep him actually like on my shoulder, so It just depends on how often I'm gonna actually bring him out. It's not gonna be very often considering I don't go to the Ren Fair as much as my girlfriend does, which that is a lot for her. But yeah, I think that's all for the plushies that I actually picked up myself and personally to add to my collection. I'm looking at my collection right now, and it seems to be all that I have. At least all that I can remember. I got a Pokédoll Oshawott, but I can't for the life of me remember if I did a video about that recently. So, or no, I haven't done a video. I did it earlier, but I don't think I've done the podcast since then. The video's already come out showing off my new Pokemon that I got for the month of May, and Oshawott was one of those. So, for the rare time you actually hear it after a video is coming out, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to settle it for the ending of this part. We're going to go to the PokePlush news and talk about all the new Pokemon Center releases. So first off, I do want to talk about the pre-orders we've gotten. And wow, are they a lot of expensive pre-orders. So first off, the first pre-orders that we had are the Meryl and the actual Dragonite Squishmallows. Those two I've been really a fan of. I really want the Dragonite, but I'm probably going to get that in store whenever I see it because I just could not get a huge one like the ones they have at Pokemon Center. It's very, very expensive. However, it is still very nice to see that they're here. I believe about $30 to get them, and that's the cheapest of the bunch. Next up, we go to a very, very big Lapras for $300, if I'm not mistaken. It is a really cool Lapras plush, and I would love to have in my collection. However, $300 for a Lapras, a Pokemon that's not necessarily my favorite, while I do like it, I decided I'm not gonna get that. I'm definitely not gonna get that. It's pretty cool. I will admit it is a very, very awesome plushie. However, the way that I'm here, I'm just like, ugh, I think I'm good. And then next up, another life size Pokemon that we're actually getting to add to our life size. I want to say collection, but it's not my collection. It's more like just the Pokemon Center collection and everybody's collection as a whole. And that is the very, very awesome life size Larvitar. And out of all the life size Pokemon for the longest time, besides my Oshawott, that is one that I really, really want. But again, it's $300. They're all up for pre-order right now. But 300 Larvitar, it looks very cool. Honestly, it's super huge. It's really nice size. I would not have expected Larvitar to be that big in game, but I guess it is, which really scares me for how big Volcarona is. Because man, that is a very scary size to have for a Pokemon, especially a bug. Oh, terrifying. And next up, we actually have ourselves a cool little bunch of Psycho Sodas that have come out recently, and that is Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. While it took them so long to actually do the Kanto starters is beyond me. However, we always complain about the fact that they've only done Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander for so long. But at this point, I'm kind of like, you know what? It's whatever. They came out with them. Cool. It's been a while. We have so many sodas that came out. The fact that Solosis got one before them is really, really interesting, and I'm okay with that for sure, I think. But yeah, we now have three new sodas. I do kind of want the Charmander one because I am a really big Charmander fan. I am a Bulbasaur fan and I am a Squirtle fan. However, I think Charmander out of the three is my favorite. And then don't tell my girlfriend that, by the way. Don't tell my girlfriend, please, that Bulbasaur's not. I do really love Bulbasaur though. I love using Bulbasaur in teams. However, Charmander was my first starter when it came to the Gen 1 starters. Obviously, I'm a very simple man. I see a little fire lizard and I click it. And if you couldn't tell by my little Charmander collection I have, it is a pretty nice collection, I will say. And it's really one of the coolest plushies that I think I have. So a Psycho Soda of Charmander would have been very, very cool to have. Maybe in the future I'll get one. I don't even know if they're sold out yet. I don't think they are from the last time that I actually checked. I believe the Psycho Sodas are not sold out yet. I believe Charmander and Bulbasaur are definitely going to be the first two to sell out because I know people are gonna want Charmander one, and then Bulbasaur. While it's technically the least popular of the three, it is still like a very popular Pokemon one, and of course, people want the one that's not gonna be as rare. That's the reason why like Pokemon like the bug types always sell out for sitting cuties because not many people go after them. So once they actually do, they become very, very expensive. So you might as well get it before they get expensive. Hence the very expensive Dwebble, which is I do not enjoy having a very expensive doorbell, but one day One day we'll get Dwebble. Right now we have Crustle in our squad. We didn't get the Sitting Cuties one, but it is still Crustle, and it's about the same size, so I'll take it. But yeah, we do have the three starters for the Psycho Sodas coming out, and I'm really interested in seeing what new sodas they actually have planned out. I think a Gatita soda would be really, really cool. I don't know what kind of soda. Maybe that'll be a future episode where it's like I do five different specific Pokemon categories that they actually have on the Pokemon Center, like Pokédolls or Psycho Sodas and stuff like that, and put the ones that I really want to see as those plushies. If you like that idea, please let me know. I would love to know about that. Next up, a very simple one that came out recently, and that is actually the graduation Pikachu. And while I'm definitely not going to get it because I, graduated in 2020 from high school, it's still a very interesting video kind of plush, and I would love to get it for somebody if I actually had like a family member or somebody that I was close with that actually graduated in 2024. Yes, it's 2024. I don't know why my brain just completely like just stopped working after that. But yes, I do think that would have been a very, very cool to get for somebody. I'm obviously not going to get it, and I'm not going to get it for my collection because I really don't need it for my collection. It's not something that actually kind of has value for me, unlike, say, Captain Pikachu or the Van Gogh Pikachu. However, I do think it's a very, very decent plushie to have, especially if you're a Pokemon fan or you have a Pokemon fan in your family that would love that for graduating. Like, I would have loved to get that kind of Pikachu plush while I was graduating. That would have been an amazing plush to have, and it'd be such a cute little thing. But you know what? I'm a few years too short, so I'll just take it like that. It's whatever. And then next up, we have a more of the Pokemon Bite puppet series featuring Greavard. We got Gibble. We have Trapinch. We have Totodile, and then ending on Fuecoco. And I really like this set a lot. The puppet set is so freaking cute. I have the Quagsire in my collection, and honestly, it'd be really cool to get one of these guys. I think Dwebble is really cute. Dwebble, Totodile are like my two favorites out of the three. Like, not three, five, huh? Fuecoco is number three, but he is still. I got a Fuecoco plush that I like from Pokemon Center as soon as he came out. Actually, as soon as the first Fuecoco plush ever came out, I was there to get it. And it was really, really awesome. But yeah, I do think the bite plushies are super super cool, and they are very very cute, especially with like the Pokemon that they have. Because it's a bunch of my favorite Pokemon. I love Pokemon that just want to bite you and chomp on you. I feel like if he was stubby just like that, Carnivine would have been an excellent addition on there. However, he's not as stubby as some of those Pokemon, so I understand why they didn't put him on there. However, it still would have been very very cute. These guys are super adorable, and if you haven't gotten one of the puppets yet, and you are a plush collector, I do highly recommend you actually at least add one of these to your collection, and from there try to figure it out. Especially if you're going after, say, a Totodile collector or you're a Fuecoco collector. I feel like it works out perfectly, and it's a great addition no matter what. And that is it for the PokePlush news. A bunch of new Pokemon Center plushies that's come out recently as of the last few weeks, and it's such a cool time to actually be a Pokemon plush collector. While they are getting more and more expensive, I will admit, it is still very nice to see that we have a bunch of new sets coming out, and I'm super happy with the fact about that. Now, is there any of these Pokemon plushies that you actually want? I would love to know. Please let me know down in the comment section below. It would be such an honor to hear that. But yeah, we're gonna kick it on off to the main topic where we're gonna be hearing from you, once you're on Reddit at least. We're talking about your favorite Pokemon plush brands. All right, and I put on Reddit about a month ago, what's your favorite PokePlush brand and why? Another community episode will be taking place. What brand is your favorite and what makes that special plushies? Van Presto told me Pokemon Center, and if it is Pokemon Center, what type of Pokemon plush? Like a Pokédoll, Sitting Cuties, etc. Or any other brand that makes plushies? It would be on the PokePlush podcast. And now that we actually have about 15 to 20, I believe, comments and replies. I think I'm just going to go around and we're speeding and just saying some of the ones that some people have, starting with Icefang GD. Whoever is responsible for the Comfy Friends line. I really enjoy the Comfy Friends line. Me personally, I only have one plush from the line, and that is my boss If I need to get some more in the future. However, Claude Zyre would be really, really cool to get in the future. I would love to do that. However, I do really agree. Honestly, Comfy Friends might be one of the best lines that Pokemon Center has made in a long time and possibly just ever. I love the sizing. I love how soft they are. They are super, super good whenever you're cuddling with. And they're really just an excellent plushie brand in my opinion, and I'm super happy that more people agree with that. Such a good opinion. Jules is not on fire. Gotta go with the Pokemon Center one. The quality is awesome and they have a decent variety. I specifically like the Sitting Cuties line because they are quite literally monsters you can fit in your pocket. That is actually a really cool idea. The Sitting Cuties line kind of reminds me of those Pokemon plushies where they had the Pokeball and then they kind of fit into the Pokeball, and so whenever you shoot them out, the Pokemon comes out of it. It's a very very cool like idea that they've had, and the Sitting Cuties line, it is small enough to where you probably could put it into a Pokeball, especially like the ones that you get the TCG sets out of. So I too really agree with this guy. I love me some Sitting Cuties. Some Pokemon are better than others whenever it comes to the Sitting Cutie line. However, I do think Sitting Cuties is a really good line, especially with Pokemon that might be a little bit harder to get actual plushies of, such as your Stunfisks or your Porygon or whatever like that. But it is a really good plush. And then we got, speaking of Porygon, from Bird Day, we got Banpresto for making big Porygon. And I'm focusing on some more niche Pokemon. I also like the All Stars for looking more accurate and being more soft. All Stars are really, really nice. I do really like All Stars. However, the All Star Sitting Cutie is kind of sad that they, kind of have Oshawott looking like a Sitting Cutie version. It's just kind of annoying. However, it seems like we do have a Porygon lover, and that is very awesome to see. But yes, I do like All Stars for the most part. A lot of them are really good, especially when I've done like a good amount of Gen 9 Pokemon already. Still waiting on them to do Mass GIF. Please do that soon. That would be amazing. However, yes, I do agree with you. Presto does make some amazing Pokemon, and they do so many other Pokemon that you might not be too in love with. They make a lot of variety of plushies too. Usually, whenever you see Pokemon in the catchers, the UFO catchers, and the claw machines and all that, it is usually a Banpresto plush. Whether it's big or small, it kind of just depends on what it is. And yeah, Banpresto does make really good plushies in my opinion. And I do think whenever I get a chance, I'm gonna definitely try to add more to my collection that are bigger ones, like the ones that the Banpresto make, because Banpresto makes some pretty good huge plushies, or at least bigger plushies than normal. Um, the ones that you're going to see in the store being the normality. But yeah, I do agree with that. It's definitely Build a Bear from Hyrule 39. I own Sabo and Grookey. They are two of the best plushies in my collection. It's the fact that they are so unique. You can dress them up in their own personalized clothing, put a sound chip to hear their voice, and even fill in the birth certificate. What an interesting concept. It makes them feel more realistic than any other category. I just wish they had a bigger variety of Pokemon. I agree with the variety of Pokemon, and I do really like the Build-A-Bears. There's so many Build-A-Bears that are really good. However, I have had a history of saying that I kind of don't like the feet that they give the Build-A-Bears for Pokemon. At least some Pokemon, such as Sabo, get their actual feet, but then you get to a Scorbunny or an Umbreon, Espeon, etc. A lot of the evolutions kind of go through this, where their feet are the bear plush feet, and they are just not very pleasing. I wish they would kind of just go in and make it toe by toe like they kind of have on other several different evolution plushies. I just feel like it help it very, very well. However, I do agree, Build-A-Bear is such a good plushie, especially whenever you put a scent in them. Oh my gosh. I think the favorite ones that I have right now is definitely either Growlithe or it's my Dragonite. My girlfriend got me right after our first date. So that's a special one for me. And then one of the special ones as well is we actually went on a date to Build a Bear and I got Growlithe. So those two very important ones to me. But yeah, I do agree. Build a Bear, such a cool brand. I love Build a Bears. Just even just regular Build a Bears. I have a good little set of the Halloween Build a Bears is the ones that I collect. So it's nice to see we do have some Build a Bear lovers. I wouldn't say from Okay, Apocopus. I just want to say octopus. I wouldn't say that I think a lot of plush brands, though I like a lot of the Tony plush personally. The Kuda Kuda Tata line and the Kimi E Kimeta is the I Choose You line are the biggest aesthetically and to carry around mainly. I love the old Tommy plushies too, which are kind of similar to the Kimis. The big guys are also cool. I am enamored with the big Dragon Ball in the 50 GPs one day. For Cuddly though, I do love Comfy Friends. Comfy Friends lover again. I need to figure out who like next episode probably I'll have it all like put into who actually won the most popular one from these collection lists. But yes, I do love the I Choose You line. Such a cool little line that they have. It really reminds me of the older Pokemon plushies they'd make where they had the hard eyes. Those were really, really cool. And yes, I do really agree that they do look aesthetically pleasing. I have the Oshawott one, but for the most part, I don't think I have many other ones. I've had chances to get the other ones, and maybe in the next few weeks, I'll probably get the other ones. However, I do think that it is really, really nice to see that a lot of people do like those kind of lines. And it's a different line than, say, your Tomy or your Jack specific. I do like whenever I see other people like different specific places and like different actual companies doing them, where it's not just Pokemon Center. It's like that what Kuda Kuda Teta line. I don't think that's Pokemon Center. I don't even know what company does that. Maybe Van Presto, but I do find them very pleasing, and I definitely agree with you. And then we got many tiny humans doing it Psycho Soda Supremacy, and I do agree. The Psycho Sodas are really, really good. And this person, he actually posted a picture, and it is Psyduck, Porygon, Squirtle, Jigglypuff, Chikorita, Oddish, Bulbasaur, Meryl, Togepi, and Mew, not Tyranitar. God, what's his Tyranitar's pre-Evo? Larvitar. My brain kept on going to Tyrant because of Tyranitar. But no, it's Tyrant and then Jirachi. I do agree. I do love the soda plushies. The only one that I have is the Psycho Soda Solosis. And even then, I really want more. I want to get some Pokemon that I don't have actually a plushie of. So Porygon would be a really cool one. I'm actually going to a few cons in the next few weeks. So hopefully I can maybe find something for that. It'd be great to maybe get, I don't even know which ones I'd want. Like I said, Porygon, maybe Jirachi would be cute. Maybe the previously mentioned Larvitar. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, I don't know. And then we got Slasso saying Takara Tomy. I love the plastic eyes and they are nice and soft. I am used to more of the Tomy plushies without the hard eyes, but it is cool seeing that they actually have a set with hard eyes. The ones that I'm used to is like during the era of like X and Y through Sun and Moon, where they were taking place and doing all those plushies before Wicked Cool Toys and then Jazzware taking over. And yeah, I've just been a big fan of those kind of plushies for a while. I have a good amount of them. I need to go through and get some of the more X and Y ones. I got a good amount, such as like the fossils, the starters, just some of the obvious ones. However, I do love Tomy. It's one of the ones that I kind of wish would take back the rights and do plushies because they did pretty interesting sets. And I feel like it'd be so nice to get it. My current like hunt that I'm doing for Tomy right now is the Tomy Hot Lucha. I do really want to get that plush soon, so we'll see how that goes. Next up, we got bacon, egg, tomato. That actually sounds pretty good. And they say, my favorite is Jazzbears. However, since I live in Germany, there's not much other choices of plushie brands other than Jazzbears. I really like their evolutions. Also, the Shinx is one of my favorite plushies I own. The big sleeping plushies they made are also really nice. I own Pittoo and Squirtle. I agree with that. Generally, I'm glad there are some high quality plushies available here, but I wish they would be able to directly order from the Pokemon Center. Importing or buying those third party sites is super expensive and can feel a bit risky. One time I did that to get my hands on the Luxio Luxray Sitting Cuties, stung my collector heart too much to have my favorite line in the collection. So we have a favorite right there with the Sitting Cuties as well. But yes, Jazzwares, I do like Jazzwares plushies. However, I don't like the company. I haven't been really into the company very much, and it's kind of sad the fact that they've kind of gone downhill, in my opinion. It's just their plushies, they keep on making too many of the same ones. As I recently said, they just make too many starter Pokemon, too many Pikachu. Like I'd be okay with like one or two per line, but then we get a Riolu every set and we get all that annoying stuff. So I'm kinda in between for it. But I do like Jazzbear's plush for the most part. Just kind of difficult getting to it. Next up, we got Excision Bit 9545. Comfy and mochi plushies only for me. I really, really want the Muna Mochi plush. I cannot wait to get that in the future. It's going to happen because I need to cosplay Hilbert soon. And when I cosplay Hilbert, it's going to go loco. And I'm going to have her on my head. It's going to be a fun time. I just cannot wait to do that. It's going to be so interesting. Next, we have Quill 156. The two that stand out to me are the Pokemon Center and Sainai. I find the standard line of Pokemon Center plushies to be a good quality and material with accurate proportions. The Sitting Cuties line is relatively affordable and ensures that every Pokemon gets its own plush. My favorite PC line, though, is Comfy Friends, sorry. They're so soft and wonderful to hug. Sainai's All-Star lines produce some wonderful high-quality plushies with accurate proportions with the bonus of producing plushies. for Pokemon that otherwise don't have their own plushies. The Patahagu cushions are fantastic too, very high quality while being soft and squishy. Being in Australia, Jazzbirds are the only plushies sold in major retail stores. Relatable. They are relatively affordable, and the larger plushies are pretty good, but I find the smaller ones can be hit or miss with the quality and detail not as high as other comparable plushies from Pokemon Center or Sinai. Yeah, I don't have too many Sinai plushies myself. However, Pokemon Center being kind of a whole thing itself, I do agree. Pokemon Center does have a good amount of quality plushies, especially before 2020, whenever the prices were a little bit more affordable. Now that we've hit like 2022 and onwards, it's kind of been very annoying how much they're going up higher with the plushies. And it's disappointing as well because you could get some for a really good price, but it just, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing in my opinion. But we got Gorlax, and that says Sitting Cutie from the Pokemon Center. They're great size and decent quality and price on the ones that I own. I like my other brand of plushies, but Sitting Cuties I definitely have the most of. My one thing about that is scalpers will take so many of the Sitting Cuties and sell them for so much. It's so disappointing, but also it's not much you can do to really save yourself from it. So it just kind of happens, and that's all you can really hope for. But Sitting Cuties, like I have said before, amazing for like more of the simpler plushies. Some of the more, I don't even want to say like harder to make plushies. Like the more detailed Pokemon, such as the final evolutions, aren't as good for sitting cuties, which kind of suck considering they're the ones that mainly benefit from the sitting cuties. So I'd wish they make the more evolved ones a little bit better. However, some evolved ones get really really good, but then you see ones like Infernape where it's kind of disappointing. I have a huge soft spot for Hoenn, Hasbro, and Sinnoh Jack specific Pokemon. My gosh, me too. Except it's more of a Unova Jack specific, and then a little bit of Sinnoh because I do have a few Sinnoh ones that I've loved, like the Krogunk one, which I need to get a Krogunk soon. That'd be amazing. I do love Krogan a lot. But like Pokemon like that, like a lot of Brock's Pokemon kind of became some of my Pokemon favorite Pokemon. I don't know why, but it just kind of did. I love Krogan, I love Sudowoodo, stuff like that. And they had Jack specific plushies, which I really, really wanted as a kid, but never really got. I got the figures for sure, like the Sudowoodo, the Krogan, stuff like that. However, I never really got them until recently, which I kind of want to get a Jack specific Krogunk. That's probably going to be my thing that I get. However, Unova Pokemon are the ones that I actually started out with for Jack specific. The first Pokemon plushie I ever really got that I can remember, and that's the whole like line one of Jack specific Unova starters, and it came with the starters, and I got Muna with that. So I got all four of those, and then from there I was able to get like Pignite, Duwat, some of those stuff like that, and I do really really like those Pokemon. And before that, I probably wouldn't have collected very many. The first Pokemon that I actually still have in my collection to this day that I've had since that birthday that my friend got me them is Snivy, the Jack specific Snivy. I now have God three of them. One in my car, one from the collection that I bought recently that has the box and then the tags from that, and then of course my OG one. I have all of them still, and they are really, really cool in my collection, and I really love them. I also have the three can or Unova starters of Jack Pacific in my car as well, which happens to be with that one Snivy. Next up from Gummy Cat, we got Pokemon Center, especially the standard PokePlush line. I just love accurate autonomy. Plush and the fabric Pokemon Center uses is amazing. I also own the giant Lucario, and he's probably my favorite plushie. Another Pokemon I have from them is the Comfy Friend Zoroa. You're so lucky. I want the Comfy Friend Zoroa so freaking bad. However, I just kind of have to settle for the gosh Toy Factory ones that I have, which I haven't seen anybody say Toy Factory recently, but that might change pretty soon. But I do really like the Comfy Friends Zorua. And for the PokePlush line, I do agree there are some great PokePlush line ones. I do really, really like the recent one I've got of the PokePlush Oshawott. And there's a bunch that I actually have in my collection that I think what got Tepig, just different ones that I've added throughout the years. And yes, I do really agree with that. Next up, we got Farm Engine 8934. Pokemon Center and Tell Me for sure. I love Pokemon Center ones mostly because they give good variety now on the types of Pokemon that receive plushies and their different series of plushies always made fun and adorable. I also love them for the sitting cutie line they created. I love that every Pokemon can be a plush form now. I also love the Tomi Takara because of how highly accurate they are with the plushies such as Dracovish, which I really want that Dracovish, that big one. Gosh, Dragapult, Clodsire, and the Mousehold ones. I have the Dracovish and Mousehold ones so far, and they're the ones of my favorite, and I love how detailed they are. mouse hold on its way in June from Japan, and I cannot wait to have my Bouncy babies at home. That's awesome. I do really like the Tomy plushies, especially like the big Tomy plushies they make. They're very, very good quality. I do really want to get the Dracovish. I will get that maybe in the future whenever I have enough money and if I actually make money from, doing videos, which that would be amazing because then I could put money into my business, into getting Pokemon plushies, which would be, God, that's just a dream right there. I'm kind of just talking random, but yeah, that would be the dream. But next up, we got Seb or something going. Hot take, round 3. They may be a novelty plush company, but damn, this is their insane quality control. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do like the round 3 ones. They are pretty decent. I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but I do understand why people like them. Hideo Lepi says, gotta go Ben Presto or Sainai. So yeah, we actually have a lot of Sainai ones that I'm just gonna kind of read all together because I do want to get as many people into this video as I can, or I should say the podcast. We got Prophesized Hero. I'd say Sainai, they're the most consistent in making good representation of Pokemons from the games. My Sainai Arcanine is perfect. My Sainai Salamence is perfect. My Sainai Leafeon is, you guessed it, perfect. It's always good quality, soft, durable, excellent. Wish they made more. And then we have another from a Fair Treat 2436. I gotta say the Sainai ones, especially the cushions, they are so soft and nice, and the texture is so unique. Shout out to my favorite plush ever, the Quagsire Sainai cushion one. And then we have from Peekaboo 177013. Sainai is my favorite Pokemon brand because of how such great quality control of the Pokemon plushies. They even made plushies of Pokemon that are either overlooked compared to other popular ones or made earlier from Pokemon Center like Tinkaton. And yes, I do agree with that really well. I do like how Sainai does make the ones before that, and their quality control, from everybody's opinion, seems to be really good. And the fact that they're making Pokemon that maybe aren't as popular, that's even better. I do love that so much. And then I'm going to end this off with North Baka, in between lines between Wicked Cool Toys and Tomy. Both make really accurate in model plushies of the Mons. I prefer Tomy's builds compared to Wicked Cool Toys, but I like that Wicked Cool Toys picks underrated Mons like Tyrant. And yes, I do think Tomy also does that for the most part as well, considering Tyrant does have a Tomy plushie as well. But yeah, Wicked Cool Toys for a little while did do a bunch of the more unique Pokemon. However, I believe Wicked Cool Toys is now owned by Jazzwares, and you know how we what we gotta say about Jazzwares. But thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you didn't actually participate in this Reddit poll, I do want to know what's your favorite Pokemon brand. For me, I do think Jack Specific, or God, Jack Specific probably has to be my favorite just because of all the history that I have with it. I seem to get so many Jack Specific plushies in my collection. So I'm going to go with Jack Specific. However, I do love so many other ones, such as Tomy, such as Pokemon Centers, Sitting Cuties, Psycho Sodas, Comfy Friends, all that kind of stuff. I do really like those kind of plushies. However, Jack Specific's been with me since the beginning, so I think it'd be kind of a sin not to add Jack Specific as my personal favorite. But yeah, I would love to know what you guys think. That's gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe if you're listening to this on YouTube. It'd be greatly appreciated. Helps me with everything. If you guys want to check out my other videos, I actually have more Pokemon Plush video related videos. Please feel free to. And with that, see you all next time. Bye bye.